morning, everyone. I'm Wong, and this is our group discussion for the Oshe Assignment. So, with me are KHOO, Q, and T. So, today we will be discussing two main topics. The first one is the roles of occupational safety and health legal requirements in business management. And the second one is a detailed look at the Malaysia's Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, including salient features. Okay, to begin with, let me provide a foundation by introducing the key legislation. In Malaysia, workplace safety is governed primarily by two acts. The first one is the Factory and Machinery Act 1967, FMA 1967 also, and the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, which is OSHA 1994. While FMA 1967 is more specific to machinery safety in factory settings, OSHA 1994 represents a comprehensive, modern approach that applies to nearly all workplaces across all sectors, except a few like armed force and maritime workers. OSHA 1994 was enacted to secure the safety, health, and welfare of persons at work, to protect others from risks arising from work activities, and to establish the National Council for OSHE. It's a framework legislation supported by numerous regulations, like the Safety and Health Committee Regulations 1996, Use and Standards of Exposure of Chemicals Hazardous to Health Regulations of 2000, and Codes of Practice. This act fundamentally shifted responsibility to employers and employees to actively manage safety, moving beyond mere compliance to fostering a preventive safety culture. Now, connecting this to our first topic, the roles of OSHE legal requirements in business management. KHOO, could you elaborate on how these laws, particularly OSHA 1994, shape management responsibilities?
Absolutely, Wong. Thank you for that clear introduction. Building on that, the primary role of OSHE legal requirements in business management is to establish a legal and ethical framework for duty of care. Under Section 15 of OSHA 1994, the employer has a general duty to ensure, so far as is practicable, the safety, the health and welfare at work of all employees. This isn't regular, but it just translates into specific managerial actions. For instance, management must now systematically conduct risk assessments before starting any new process or introducing new machinery. A manager must identify potential hazards. Maybe it can be chemical, physical, agronomic, or even physico-social, and implement controls. This is a proactive, planned approach to risk management mandated by law. Furthermore, it drives financial and operational planning, allocating budgets for safety equipment, training programs, and employing safety and health officers in prescribed industries become a non-negotiable line item. This prevents cost-cutting at the expense of safety. In the long term, this reduces costs associated with accidents like medical expenses, compensation, production stoppage, and damage to equipment, which directly protects the company bottom line.
So I'd like to add to that. From the perspective of organization structure and culture, Oslo necessitates creating formal roles and committees. For example, in workplace with 40 or even more employees, the Safety and Health Committees regulation require the formation of a Joint Management Worker Committee. This means management must facilitate a structure where safety concerns are communicated upward from the floor level. So this legal requirement forces the integration of OSH into the very fabric of business operation. It's not just the HR or the facilities department jobs, but it involves production managers, engineers, and even supervisors. It also enhances employee relationship and employer branding. So when workers see their safety prioritized by law and in practice, it boosts morale, reduces turnover, and make the company more attractive to talents. Compliance, therefore, become a strategic human resources tool.
Oh wow, excellent point. I see another crucial role in legal risk mitigation and corporation governance. Legislation provide a clear standard of care. By following the prescribed regulation and code of practice, a business create a documented defense against the negligence claim, and if an accident occurs, the Department of Occupational Safety of Health, which is the DOSH, will investigate. If you can show you follow the approved code of practice for, say, safety is confined space, you demonstrate due diligence. Conversely, no compliance carry the severe penalties under the OSHA 1994. Offences can lead to fine up to 50,000 ringgit of imprisonment up to 2 years, or for failure leading to serious bodily injury. Of the penalty are even harsher. For manager and the director, Sector 50 of the Act can make them personally liable if the offence is proven to have been committed with their concern of due to their neglect. So, for top management and the board, OSH compliance is a critical part and fiduciary duty and corporate social responsibility (CSR).
Okay, thank you all for our very interesting point. You all have comprehensively covered how OSH legal requirements shape risk management, financially planning, organization culture, and legal governance. Now, let's delve deeper into the salient features of OSHA 1994 itself. So, Q, could you talk us through some of its other defining characteristics?
For sure, Wong. Beyond the general duty we mentioned just now, one of the most significant features is its scope and applicability. As Wong noted, it covered all economic sectors, including manufacturing, services, agricultural, construction, as you name it. This universal approach was a major evolution from the older, more limited FMA 1967. So another key feature is the tripartite consultation framework through the National Council for OSH. These councils include representatives from the government, employers, and employees. So this is to ensure that regulation and policy are balanced and considered practical realities from all stakeholders before being enacted.
Nice point, you. To add to the enforcement mechanisms, the Act grants extensive powers to DOSH officers. They can enter any workplace without prior notice at any reasonable time, inspect, seize evidence, and interview anyone. They can issue two powerful tools, which are the improvement notice, which gives a company time to fix the violations, and the second one is the more serious prohibition notice, which orders an immediate halt to an activity deemed dangerously unsafe. And this gave the law reality for enforcement.
And also another salient feature is the emphasis on self-regulation and continuous improvement. The Act does not just list does and doesn't. It requires employer to develop and implement a written safety and health policy for workplace with 5 or more employees. This policy must be communicated to all the workers, and it also the mandate incident reporting and investigation. Any accident, dangerous occurrences, and occupational well-being or disease must be reported to the DOSH. And this is not about the assigning blame, but about the investigating the root cause to prevent the recurrence, promoting a learning organization. And furthermore, the Act provides for the registration of approved industry code of practice. These are the practical guide on how to comply with the general duties of the Act in specific industry or for specific hazards. Following a code of practice is strong evidence for compliance.
Perfect. So we have a law that is comprehensive in scope based on the principle of self-regulation with strong enforcement, facilitated by tripartite consultation and supported by detailed regulations and codes. Cool. How does this contrast with the older Factory and Machinery Act 1967 in practical terms?
Okay, well, the contrast is quite stark. The FMA 1967 is largely prescriptive and hardware focused. It specifies detailed technical standards for machinery, like the required guarding for a power press or the safe working load of a crane. It is reactive in nature, focusing on the machine itself. OSHA 1994, however, is performance-based and process-focused. It set goals like ensure safety and health, and let the employer decide the best way to achieve it. Often called risk assessment. It covers not just machines, but the entire work environment, including the chemicals, manual handling, workplace stress, and welfare facilities like the first aid. It represents a shift from policing machinery to managing a holistic safety system.
So, and that system management aspect is crucial. It aligns with international OSH management system standard like ISO 45001. This does make Malaysia businesses more compatible with global supply chain that demand high safety standards.
To wrap up this point, the two acts coexist. A factory must comply with both FMA 1967 for the specific machinery safety and registration or certain requirement, and also the OSHA 1994 for the overall management of safety, health, and welfare of e-people. Those enforce both.
Excellent discussion, everyone. So, to conclude, OSH legal requirements ensured by OSHA 1994 transform safety from an abstract idea into a managed business function. They compel strategic planning, foster a positive culture, mitigate legal and financial risks, and ultimately create sustainable business where people are protected. So, the salient features of OSHA 1994, its broad scope, duty-based approach, and self-regulatory model, and also a strong enforcement to make it the cornerstone of this modern OSH landscape in Malaysia. So, any final thoughts from the team?
Yes, Paul. Just that understanding these acts is the first step for any future manager or engineer. It is not optional knowledge. It is essential professional competence.
So, well summarized, Wong. Compliance is the foundation, but the goal is to build a culture where safety is a shared value.
Yes, agree. It's good business and the right thing to do.
Before we officially end, I did also like to highlight that OSH compliance is no longer just a legal matter, but a competitive advantage. In today's global business environment, companies that demonstrate strong OSH performance gain better access to international markets, win investors' confidence, and also build long-term customer trust.
Absolutely, Paul. And with the rise of ESG, which is E, environmental, S, social, and G, governance, OSHA, form a major component of the social pillar. Businesses that invest in safety are seen as responsible corporate citizens, which improve their accessibility, ratings, and overall reputation.
So to add on, another important point is technology integration. Modern OSH management now incorporates digital tools such as IoT sensors, real-time monitoring system, and even AI-driven hazard detection. And also the automated reporting system. These technologies support faster decision making, reduce human error, and even create a better work environment.
Okay, so finally, continuous OSH education is crucial. Laws, technologies, and workplace risks evolve over time. Employers and employees must stay updated through the regular training, refresher courses, toolbox meeting, and competency certifications. A trained workforce is a safer, more efficient, and more productive workforce.
Alright, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for those valuable additions. With that, we truly conclude our OSH forum discussion. So we hope that this session has given clear insights into the legal frameworks, managerial responsibilities, and the evolving landscape of workplace safety in Malaysia.
Thank you.
Thank you.